It's Friday, and a good Friday it is. How are you? Wake Up Wenatchee Valley is on the air live this morning from Studio 23 here in downtown Wenatchee. Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Thanks for starting your day with us. I'm Dan Kuntz. Everybody's in a good mood in this building for any number of reasons. Before we go any further onto this live program, this is a press release issued by Arch Ecker, dated April 20th today for immediate release. I got this about 20 minutes ago. Wenatchee Wild claim BCHL Fred Page Cup. They are the champions of the league. As you might imagine, that's going to be our lead sports story today. Our guy, Eric Grandstrom, alongside our top camera guy, Michael Price, were there. We have a complete 3-minute highlight package of how they clinched the cup, plus some post-game interviews, the cup presentation itself. If you weren't there, we got it all for you when we do sports in about, I don't own a watch. I don't know why I'm looking at my wrist. In about 20 minutes or so. That's the big sports story of the day today. It's really the big news story of the day today, but we also have news. As you notice, Steve Hare, not with me. He's still a little under the weather. We want Steve to be 100%, so he's staying home and getting better. Expect you back on Monday. All right, Steve. In the meantime, I'll be handling the news duties. We have everything that you're used to, a good-looking forecast. Once we get to Sunday, we got a little blip in the road. But it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful stretch of weather, really starting Sunday and lasting all through next week. Of course, Thursday, the 99th Washington State Apple Blossom Festival gets underway. That forecast looks really good for the opening day festivities. And in the second half of this program, Margie Kerr and Laurel Helton have agreed to join me live in this studio. It was a red letter day for the organizers of Make a Difference Day. They won again one of the big prizes, one of the 13 nationwide prizes. And they did it again. I cannot wait to talk to those two lovely ladies who are currently patiently standing by in our green room enjoying, I think, a Mexican omelet is what Jane made for them this morning. It's Friday. The commissary doesn't open until 8:30. Our apologies on that. Are we ready to go at 2.5 minutes after the hour? Let's get going on a good-looking Friday. I feel good. The Valley looks good. Hello, Wenatchee Valley proper, our affectionately nicknamed Cross Cam. Starts off and always a bad lead off. Again, as I mentioned before, little blip in the radar. It's going to be a little cloudy today. You see the high clouds coming up. It's going to cloud up. Clouds going to thicken up as we go through the day today. In fact, we could even see a stray raindrop tonight. There's a brisk moving cold front moving in. It'll be out of here by Saturday night. Details are coming up. So good morning to Wenatchee Valley proper. And now from this point forward, Kat, the executive producer of this program, gets to decide, and she says Monument Hill is next. That is about the highest peak in all of Grant County, which is why Monument Hill has a bunch of towers and repeaters and relay stations and a Sky-Fi camera up there. And that's why we can see the beautiful town of Quincy. Don't bother going up there. It's all fenced off with you know, security cameras and all that stuff. So don't even bother going up there. Why go up there when you can look at that? Good morning, Quincy. Thanks for starting your day with us. Camera 3 will take us to the White River Valley. I believe that is our Two Rivers camera. We did this a couple of days ago. That's the Lake Wenatchee area. If we turn this camera around 180 degrees, you would see all of Lake Wenatchee. We turn it around this direction and we see the White River Valley. You can still see a little bit of snow on the ground up there. There's going to be a lot of snow melt this weekend. Warm, mild temperatures indeed. And camera number 4 says, is that Cougar Ridge, Kat? That's Cougar Ridge. Look at the snow-capped mountains and the beautiful Wenatchee Valley, the Otabashan Bridge in your lower right-hand corner, the Stimmel Complex, Omi Gardens. To your far right, by the way, they are open for your enjoyment. This is a great time of the year to visit Omi Gardens. I would recommend the early part of next week when it's really nice. And of course, you can see. Can you make out the town Toyota Center? Not quite. They had quite the party there last night. And if you're just joining us, once again, the press release, we won the cup. It's not official till Arch says so. All right, it's 4 minutes after the hour. Your weather forecast from the National Weather Service looks like this. Increasing clouds today will top off at about 66 degrees. If you were with us yesterday, we were hoping to get to 66 degrees. The last time in the Wenatchee Valley, we got up to an afternoon high of 66 was October 1st. We didn't do it yesterday. We only hit 65. We were 1 degree short. But if we get to 66 degrees today, that will end our long streak. The last time we had 66 degrees in the Wenatchee Valley was 200 days ago. But we're making it up for in a big hurry. Tonight, just a slight chance of a couple of stray raindrops and that's really about it. Overnight low of about 46. Tomorrow we begin the transition. Lots of sunshine, considerably cooler. The story tomorrow is going to be the wind, breezy. Wind out of the west about 13 to 22 miles an hour. That cold front exits the region Saturday night. 38 for the overnight low. That's chilly for this time of year. And then here it comes. Sunday, 62. Monday, 69, but just a couple of passing clouds. Tuesday, 71, 75 Wednesday. First day of the Apple Blossom Festival. Thursday, sunny and 74. How do you like them apples? I want to give you this quick reminder though. Stevens Pass tonight and Saturday is expecting some snow. Not a lot of snow, a couple of inches tonight, a couple of inches of snow on Saturday on Stevens Pass only. Blewett and I-90 should be fine. They're not expecting any precipitation at all. I just wanted to throw that out there. I know a lot of people have travel plans this weekend. There's a lot going on this weekend. WenCon is this weekend. Earth Day is this weekend. The Wenatchee Marathon is this weekend. If you haven't made your plans yet, don't worry about it. Megan McPherson's going to take care of that when we do news here, the whole weekend events. In fact, when we come back, the news on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live this morning from Studio 23 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life Channel.
Hi, Brent Crowder here at Town Nissan. Are you considering Nissan when you're buying a new car, truck, or SUV? You should. Nissan delivers quality, performance, and style, starting with the all-new Nissan Rogue, the best-selling car in America for 2017, and the all-new 2018 Nissan Titan Cummins-powered diesel truck with a 100,000-mile warranty bumper to bumper. Come down and see us at Town Nissan behind Costco in East Wenatchee.
We're here to celebrate every season with award-winning dining, full-service spa, and 170 waterfront guest rooms. Come experience our tradition of hospitality at Campbell's Resort on Lake Chelan.
And now it's time for your local news update with Steve Hare.
Just about 8 minutes after the hour on this Friday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Steve Hare is off today. He'll be back on Monday. I'm Dan Kuntz with your Friday morning news. Wenatchee's version of Shark Tank culminated last night with the selection of the $100,000 grand prize winner. The Flywheel Conference was held at the Wenatchee Convention Center and the Numerica Performing Arts Center. The conference providing an opportunity for investors and entrepreneurs to connect and develop relationships that might one day build new companies right here in the Pacific Northwest. Now, during the conference, Director of Confluence Health, Dr. Peter Rutherford, shared how he and the General Manager of the Chelan County PUD, Steve Wright, developed the idea for the event a few years back.
Steve knew a few contacts in the Seattle area, and one afternoon, then a couple of years ago, Steve and I ended up sitting in downtown Seattle in an office building with Chrisman Knopfsinger and Eric Benson. And they both knew Wenatchee, visited the area, and believed there was a potential here. And they suggested starting a tech conference and an angel investment fund. And that was in about the summer of 2016, and here we are today. And I really want to say thanks to a ton of work by Jenny, the support of Guada, and then a tremendous amount of wisdom from Chrisman and Eric. And then the response of the interested companies to come here and present today was incredibly impressive to me. A lot of great ideas and entrepreneurial passion. The 6 finalists that I think that we've selected are great examples to me of what the future holds for this region.
As Dr. Rutherford mentioned, 6 selected companies competing for the $100,000 prize put forth by the Angel Investment Group. Placed in a Shark Tank style competition, if you're familiar with that program, the CEOs of Barn to Door, Geneve, Fanwide, Cartogram, Miracash, and Strive all gave their pitch to local business leaders about why their company deserves the $100,000 investment. The winner, Cartogram. Cartogram, selected as the winner of the $100,000 grand prize. They are a software company that maps the interior of complex buildings like hospitals or college campuses. Users of Cartogram are able to use their smartphone to help guide them through a facility, similar to kind of how you use Google Maps when you go out and take a road trip. Congratulations to Cartogram. The entire Flywheel Conference will be the topic of a NCW Life magazine episode with our very own J.C. Beck in the not-too-distant future. Looking forward to that. Well, the Wenatchee City Council members discussed the ongoing issues with this Skyline Drive overlook. They met at a study session yesterday. The city is responding to complaints from neighboring property owners concerning traffic, noise, underage drinking. It's a very popular pullout and a scenic overlook. City Parks and Recreation Department Director Dave Erickson says the city reached out to the general public in a survey for possible suggestions. He says the city's Parks Commission considered those recommendations at a recent public hearing.
We had good input from the folks that came, as well as through all the emails and phone calls and poll results. And so this evening at the City Council meeting, the Commission will be presenting kind of their recommendation after all of this input. Staff had a recommendation, and then so does the Commission, and so they'll be presenting that tonight. And then the Council will take all that information and they'll either accept that recommendation or they'll come up with something on their own. So it should be interesting to see where this all ends up when everything is all said and done.
Erickson says a range of options are available, from everything from closing down the overlook altogether to putting in surveillance cameras at the location. But the overwhelming sentiment shared by those who took the survey was simply leave the overlook as it is, with just a few improvements. Well, a Bridgeport man and his 3 sons are in custody today in connection with a burglary and seizure of a stolen cache of weapons back in December of 2017. Sheriff Harvey Jesdahl says after multiple following up on tips and evidence gained from multiple search warrants, deputies learned the stolen property was being concealed at 1255 Fairview Avenue in Bridgeport. The search located 4 stolen rifles, ammunition, scopes, a rangefinder, and miscellaneous shooting supplies valued at $4,700. They also recovered a small amount of methamphetamine. Arrested 52-year-old Guadalupe Martinez, 27-year-old Guadalupe Martinez Jr., 23-year-old Alex Martinez, and 21-year-old Noel Martinez. All 4 may face several felony charges. Well, last week we brought you the story that Chelan County Planning Director Hank Lewis had resigned his position as of April 2nd. That leaves Chelan County Commissioners to fill the role for a very short-staffed department.
Quite honestly, when we received the resignation, we weren't necessarily prepared for it at the time that it came, but we've had some challenges, I guess, that we've been working through with community development, and I'm hopeful that the direction that we're going right now will put us on a good path. We appreciate all that Hank did for us. I mean, he served, I think, close to 2 years, and he did provide some tremendous benefit, in his service to the county. So we appreciate what he's done for the county.
The county signed a contract last week with a consulting firm to assist in planning for the coming year.
We signed a contract with M2 Consulting, and that's Mitch Reister, who was previously our county engineer. He will be coming on board April 30th in a consultant's role. It's a 1-year contract. We'll look at it at the end of 6 months, but I mean, the idea that he'll come in, as I said, in a consulting way. His background is not in planning, but he is shown himself to be a great organizational person, so organizational management is really his strong suit, and that's what we're looking for.
Is community development department still short-staffed, though? I mean, you still need more warm bodies despite the contract?
We do have some other vacancies, and we may have a couple more that we'll be looking to fill. But we've been working diligently. The staff has really picked up the slack. I think they've done. They've really been inundated with permits, which is great. It shows that there's real interest in building, and the Chelan County is an attractive place for people to come and live, and so they are processing those permits. I think they're really keeping it in a reasonable time frame as far as getting the permits out, and we hope to have a couple more on staff in the near future.
And finally, is there anything to do this weekend? Yeah, couple things anyway. Our very own 3M Megan McPherson with what's happening this weekend.
Here's a look at what's on tap this weekend around the Wenatchee Valley. The Wenatchee Marathon is this Saturday, April 21st. This is a fast course with a marathon, half marathon, and 10K categories. Walkers are welcome in all categories of this Boston qualifier. All races will start at the Performing Arts Plaza on Wenatchee Avenue. Also Saturday is the Vulnerable Persons Registry event at Pybus Market from 9 to 2. This is an event with the local police services and local community agencies. The registry promotes communication between vulnerable persons, the people who support them, and the police. This information will assist officers when responding to an emergency involving the vulnerable individual. The registry provides quick access to critical information about a registered person, such as who to call in an emergency, a detailed physical description, and any particular sensitivities that the person may experience. Registration is completely voluntary. The database is to help alleviate safety concerns for those that are vulnerable in our community. The Wenatchee Apollo Club invites you to participate in the 2018 International Choral Festival at the Wenatchee High School Auditorium Saturday at 7 p.m. Hosted in alternating years between Canada and the United States, this 58th year of the International Choral Festival features 1 Canadian choir and 5 U.S. choirs, each presenting 3 numbers. A 3-song finale will feature all the participating choirs on stage. And finally, celebrate Earth Day with several events happening in the area. On Saturday, the Chelan Earth Day Fair will take place at Riverwalk Park from 9 to 4 with educational displays, recycling, electric vehicles, kids' activities, book sale, food vendors, a plant sale, and local organizations and agencies. Also on Saturday, join Sustainable Wenatchee outside of Pybus Market to celebrate the planet and learn about how to protect it. Featuring educational booths from a variety of local organizations and kids' activities by Joyful Scholars Montessori School and Teams Learning Center. Learn about the NCW Eco Challenge and get registered. Plus, bring your own cup and get some free organic lemonade from the Hunter's Wife Health Bar or coffee from Cafe Columbia. It's happening from 10 to 2. On Sunday, head to the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center for their Earth Day Science Fair from 10 to 2. Meet local scientists, participate in hands-on projects, and build with Legos. This free event includes Lego robotics and apple sorter demonstrations, earth science activities, a water filtration station, interactive poetry, and much more. Also on Sunday is the Leavenworth Earth Day Community Fair from 12 to 4. This year's theme will be Community, exploring the power of community in bringing about positive, sustainable living practices to secure a healthy climate future. The goal is to create a family-friendly event educating around this theme of sustainability. The fair will be held at Lions Club Park. For more information on this weekend's events, visit ncwlife.com.
That's a lot of stuff. And that didn't even count the sports schedule for the weekend, and I'll get to that when we do sports here in just about a minute. By the way, if you have outside plans for the weekend, a lot of people do, just a quick reminder, sunny, breezy, and cool on Saturday, sunny, no wind, highs in the lower 60s on Sunday. Thank you, Mother Nature. All right, it's 18 minutes after the hour. Fair skies and 47 degrees outside of our studios. A complete highlight package. Everything you want to see in high-definition television. The Wild are the Fred Page Cup champions. It's all coming up in 1 minute. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
The Arbiter of Stoke is a series that highlights a variety of outdoor adventure sports that are available in the Pacific Northwest. I dedicate my time to enjoying this natural playground. The decision is yours. How will you keep your Stoke?
Dear Mary Maids, just got home from a trade show and I didn't have time to pick up the house. Kids made chili. Jeff did a mud run. Oh, and Winston shredded Teddy's bed. Again, please clean it the best you can. Oh, except for the statue Max made for me. Thanks, Abby.
Hi, Abby. Clean kitchen, clean bath, clean floor. Naughty cat. Poor Teddy. The statue is precious. You should keep it forever. See you next time, Mary Maids.
And welcome back to this Friday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I am Dan Kuntz. 3,845 fans packed the Town Tennis Center. They just got into their seats. They were just getting warmed up, and then boom, the Wenatchee Wild scored. And those same fans were out of the seats many more times in the course of the evening. Wenatchee claims the 2018 BCHL Championship. They downed the Prince George Spruce Kings 3-0. the final. Zach Galambos scored a couple of goals. A.J. Vanderbeek scored the finale. Austin Park pitched a shutout in goal. Here it is, the voice of the Wild, Art Checker, highlights. Enjoy.
Up again, and then Cooper Zach will dig it out. Zach up on the left side gets tripped up, and there'll be a penalty coming against Prince George. A power play for Wenatchee for the first time in quite a while. In the last 119 minutes of gameplay coming into tonight, the Wild had a grand total of 10 seconds of power play time. Top of the near circle. He looks, feeds it down low, tipped by Weatherby, backdoor, and score! Zach Galambos. Toba does have action tonight. We'll look at that a little bit later on. There's Causey with a shot, and that went off the pipe. Leaves it for Morton. He's in down low, shot and a save made. Rebound, shot blocked away. Galambos had a whack at it, and in traffic, it just didn't find its way through. Morton creeps down to the bottom of the circle, cycles it, one touch pass across, shot, score! Zach Galambos does it again. It's going to be Vanderbeek who muscles it just in across the line and throws it at the empty net. He scores! The captain, A.J. Vanderbeek. And the Wild hopping up and down on the bench. Ten seasons, 2 ownerships, 2 leagues, 3 head coaches, and one very special group of athletes that grew together to become a team. Wenatchee, you are home to an ice hockey champion. Your Wenatchee Wild are the BCHL 2018 Fred Page Cup champions. For the first time since 1979, the Fred Page Cup comes stateside. The Bellingham Blazers won it that year. And now, Wenatchee brings it to U.S. soil.
I could watch that again. I think I'll watch the 9 o'clock rerun just to enjoy it. Of course, it's not really over, really over, until John Grisdale, the president of the BCHL, presents the Fred Page Cup.
10 years ago, when this building wasn't even finished, that the city of Wenatchee and the organizers approached the BC League about a team in our league. Then 3 years ago, David and Lisa White made it happen. And now, here we are. And I want to recognize the great job that Coach Bliss Littler has done with the hockey club. His coaching staff have been with him all the way, the support staff, and of course, all the wonderful volunteers and you great fans in Wenatchee. We're proud to announce the Wenatchee Wild Hockey Club as the 2018 winners of the Fred Page Cup.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the captain of your Wenatchee Wild, A.J. Vanderbeek. Come forward on behalf of the team, your chef, county commissioner, the Fred.
confident, especially playing at home. We know we have a huge crowd coming. We know we have a chance to do something really special, and all the boys came ready to work tonight. We got the job done.
You get that first goal. What does that mean for this team?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, it gives us so much momentum. The crowd gets into it right away. I mean, you can see the energy on the bench right away.
What did that mean to you guys last night to come home after that ridiculous road trip and here you got that many fans here?
Yeah, obviously, you know, our fans are special. Right. Very special for them to meet us here such late night after the loss. I mean, great community, and we were so happy to win it for the community.
When you got up this morning, did you think this was going to happen?
For sure. To wake up, we're confident. We were buzzing on Tuesday night, and we brought it into this game.
How big was that welcome for you guys last night when you got here?
You know, we were kind of down after the game, but you know, it brought us right back up, and it just gave us all the momentum.
A couple of goals tonight. I mean, did you draw it up like that for yourself?
Oh no, thanks to my teammates. They made great plays, and we were fortunate enough to get it.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I can get your attention, please. First off, congratulations to our Wenatchee Wild for winning the 2018 Cup.
Yeah, Wenatchee Wild 2018 BCHL champions. It's fun just to say, isn't it? Okay, well, it's on to the next round. That's right, the season doesn't end here for Wenatchee. They move on to play the winner of the Alberta Junior Hockey League champion. That's the best of 7 series. It's still going on right now between the Spruce Grove Saints and the Okotoks Oilers. Game 5 tonight, by the way, the Saints own a 3-1 advantage. Here's how this works from now on. Game 1 and 2 would be in Wenatchee next Friday and Saturday, with a possible Game 3 Sunday at the Town Toyota Center if the Wild lose one of their first 2 games. Regardless of that, the rest of the series would then be played in Alberta. All right, to the Les Schwab Prep scoreboard from yesterday. On the tennis courts, West Valley swept Wenatchee. Moses Lake swept Eastmont. Cashmere girls, they topped Ephrata 3-2. Chelan boys and girls victorious Okanagan, and Cascade sweeps Liberty Bell. Caribou Trail League soccer on Thursday. The Les Schwab Prep scoreboard continues. Cascade shut out Cashmere 4-0. Chelan coasted past Omak 8-1. Softball, Cascade continues its hot play with a 10-0 win over Natchez Valley. Now, the prep schedule for the weekend looks like this. Eastmont will host Wenatchee. This is a huge soccer game tonight. 7 o'clock, Wildcat Field in East Wenatchee. If you can't make it, we will have the game live right here on the NCAA Live channel. Sebastian Moraga and Ed Navarro will be calling the action. On Saturday, Cashmere will travel to Brewster. Manson is at Bridgeport, and Cascade will host Okanagan. On the baseball lineup, Eastmont is at Davis for a doubleheader today at 4 o'clock. The Wenatchee Panthers at home at Historic Recreation Park. They host West Valley for a doubleheader. The first game starts at 4. Saturday, it is Chelan at Cascade. Okanagan will host Cashmere. Waterville Mansfield will host Liberty Bell. All of those tomorrow are doubleheaders, and all of them with the first pitch at 11 a.m. Fast pitch softball play. Eastmont will host Davis for 2. Wenatchee will be at West Valley for a double dip. Both of those at 4 o'clock. On Saturday, Chelan will host Noosac Valley in a doubleheader. That begins at 11. Okanagan will play 2 at Cashmere. Waterville Mansfield hosts Liberty Bell and girls softball, a doubleheader. And Cascade will play a single game at Sultan. Remember, Cascade, you're not being rude. You're just insulting. Also, on the weekend schedule, tennis today, NAT's at Liberty Bell. Tomorrow, Chelan will host Cascade. Okanagan is at Cashmere, 11 a.m. there. Track and field, Cashmere, Chelan, Cascade will be at Quincy tomorrow morning, beginning at 10:30. And here's a reminder of our sports broadcast schedule for the weekend. Again, tonight, Eastmont, Wenatchee, 7 o'clock, an epic battle. Looking forward to that one. We will have it right here, of course, on this very station. We have Wenatchee lacrosse tomorrow. Mount Si is in town. That begins at 2 o'clock at Leibofta Field at the Apple Bowl. Rod Higley and Jimmy Sherrill will be calling the action there. At 7 tomorrow, Game 2 of the BCHL Championship between the Wild and Prince George. On Sunday, we're going to replay the Wenatchee Sunnyside soccer match at noon. That'll be followed by the Eastmont Moses Lake soccer game at 2. And then it's Wenatchee and Central Valley lacrosse at 5, followed by Game 3 of the BCHL Championship between the Wild and the Spruce Kings. Weekend schedule. There's a lot going on. Maybe we should have had Megan do this. The Wenatchee Marathon is back with the start. Of course, it's right in front of the America Performing Arts Center, the fountain in downtown Wenatchee. 6:30 For the early birds, there's a full and half marathon as well as a 10K. The local women's league will kick off their softball season at Kirby Billingsley Hydro Park. The senior men's league has their season opening tournament this weekend at Walla Walla Point Park. Also, the Grant County Fairgrounds in Moses Lake is the site for the District 1 meet for the Washington High School equestrian teams. That runs today through Sunday. All right, baseball. Jose Altuve hit bases loaded double. He drove in 3 runs yesterday in the 4th inning. Houston defeats Seattle at Safeco Field. The final there was 9-2. Houston takes 3 of 4 of the series. Marco Gonzalez takes the loss. He falls to 1-2 on the year. Charlie Morton quieted the Mariners' bats for 7 innings. Seattle begins a weekend series in Texas. The Rangers tonight. Felix Hernandez takes the mound for the Mariners. 30 minutes after the hour, Friday, April 20th. Obscure holiday? Is this divine intervention or what? I got Laurel Helton and I got Margie Kerr coming down to talk about Make a Difference Day and some exciting news there. Today is Volunteer Recognition Day. I'm not going to say anything about Volunteer Recognition Day except this little tidbit that you may not know, because we have a secret, volunteers do. It's energizing, it's rewarding, and more often than not, it's lots of fun. Try it sometime. Volunteer Recognition Day today, and 2 of my favorites will be on the show in about 10 minutes, 31 minutes after the hour. Today in history, it is April 20th. April 20th, 1861. Robert E. Lee said, "Thanks, Abe, I'm going to pass." Abraham Lincoln offered Robert E. Lee the command of the entire Union forces at the beginning of the Civil War, and Robert E. Lee said, "No, my heart is in Virginia," and Robert E. Lee resigned his commission in the United States Army to take over the forces of the state of Virginia. That is his actual resignation letter on this date 157 years ago. April 20th, 1912, 2 iconic ballparks opened on the same day. That is what Tigers Stadium looked like. Back in 1912 in Detroit, the Tigers beat Cleveland 6-5 on opening day of Tiger Stadium, which is no longer with us. They demolished Tiger Stadium about 10 years ago, and ironically enough, it was the same day that Fenway Park in Boston opened. That's right, they both opened on the exact same day. In Boston, the Red Sox beat the Yankees 7-6 in 11 innings. 2 of the iconic ballparks of all time, Tiger Stadium and Fenway Park, both opened on this date on exactly 106 years ago today. Fenway Park, of course, still being used. And finally, April 20th, 1999, can't let this day go by without remembering this, Columbine High School. The massacre. Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold killing 13 people, injured 24 before they killed themselves at Columbine High School in Columbine, Colorado. There will be commemorative events going on today, as you might imagine. And finally, at 32 minutes after the hour, we got some birthdays. The longest living Supreme Court justice of all time is 98 years old and going strong. John Paul Stevens was in the news. You remember a couple of weeks ago, he wrote an op-ed for the New York Times calling for the Second Amendment to the Constitution to be thrown out and changed. John Paul Stevens is 98 years old today, the 3rd longest Supreme Court justice in history as far as time served, 98 years old today. George Takei, Sulu from Star Trek, 81 years old today. I don't do Facebook as much as I used to. Facebook is starting to wear on me a little bit, but George Takei's Facebook posts are always humorous with a little bit of pathos. George Takei is 81 years old today. There's George. And Don Mattingly, Donnie Baseball, the only New York Yankee to have his number retired that never won a world championship. He just missed out. They won a world championship a couple of years before he joined the Yankees. They won the world championship the year after he retired. The great Donnie Baseball, MVP, Gold Gloves, one of my favorites, Donnie Baseball, 57 years old today. He's now the manager, of course, of the Miami Marlins. Wow, what a second segment. The Wild won the Fred Page Cup. Did we mention that, Kat? We got that? We got that. Good. I didn't want to miss anything. 34 minutes after the hour, everyone is entitled to Mike McNally's opinion, and then Margie and Lori, Margie Kerr, Laurel Helton, Make a Difference Day. We're going to have a fantastic conversation. Buckle your seatbelts. We've got a long way to go between now and 8 o'clock. It's Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, live from Studio 23 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life Channel.
Hello, Wenatchee Valley. Christian Shanlin here with Bay Equity Home Loans.
Make your dream of building your own home a reality today. Bay Equity Home Loans has teamed up with Real Homes to make building your new home a smooth process. Bay Equity Home Loans of Wenatchee offers new construction loans, FHA 3.5% down, and VA 100% construction loans.
Stop on by or give us a call today.
Hey there, Wenatchee. I'm Sean Lee, and I'm inviting you to come down and check out what we're all about at Badger Mountain Brewing.
Great beer, good food, and an endless source of entertainment for the whole family. Our Honey Blonde beer is flying off the shelves at your local grocery store. But I tell you what, it's even better on tap. And while you're here, try our signature Badger sauce with one of our delicious meals. Whether you're in the mood for a wrap, salad, pizza, or nachos, Badger Mountain Brewing has what you're looking for.
Every golfer aims to play their best, and smart golfers turn to the golfer's edge to get the golfer's edge. PGA professional Ed Payne has you covered from tee to green. You can work on your swing or play 18 in air-conditioned comfort on the golf simulator. Tanya's Corner has all the apparel the golfer needs at sale prices. And Ed can even rebuild your favorite set of clubs or custom make you a brand new set. Ask how you can qualify for a free 30-minute lesson at the Golfer's Edge on Mission between Kittitas and Yakima. Your home for the 2018 Washington State Apple Blossom Festival is the NCW Life Channel. Be sure to watch the Kais Fiber Youth Parade Saturday, April 28th, the Les Schwab Classy Chassis Parade on Friday, May 4th, and the Stem Milk Growers Grand Parade Saturday, May 5th, right here. Brought to you by Merry Maids. Relax, it's done. And by Schmidt Electric, serving the West since 1960. Your home for the 2018 Apple Blossom Festival is the NCW Life Channel.
Tacos Chava has something new. Customers at Tacos Chava say it's the best Mexican food around. Nachos, enchiladas, tortas, ensaladas. And introducing camarones in many styles. You'll love the fresh salsa bar with so much selection. Are you ready for Tacos Chava? Find them at two great locations, the Wenatchee Valley Mall and Eniac. Tacos Chava, tan delicioso.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now look, in the realm of sexual assaults, there is no such thing as date rape. Now rape is rape. The majority of sexual assaults occur within an already established relationship, the minority, vast minority, between strangers. To define an assault as occurring on a date in no way lessens the potential trauma to the victim or lessens the culpability of the offender, and should not cause consideration for a reduction of penalty. Now, date rape, oh, gosh, who made up this stupid term anyway? Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
It's a free walk-in job search assistance center. It is designed to help job seekers with the tools that they need to find a job. We have partnered with libraries in 5 other cities, providing the same types of services that we offer here, just there.
Just walk in, we have laptops, and we can help you with resume, cover letter.
All of our services are paid for by the revenues earned in our store. Goodwill is just a tool that the community is using to help their neighbors find a job. Goodwill, there's more behind the store.
I have a doctor who knows what they're talking about.
It's just so much more hands-on and friendly than anywhere else I've ever been.
It's really great to walk into somewhere where you feel welcomed and you feel accepted.
We've just been grateful for the care and respect that we've been given there.
And here when I come to visit my doctor, I'm not afraid to ask questions.
It's not just about getting you in and out.
I love my care at CVCH. It's awesome. Give it a try.
I'm Jenny Rojanasatian, and this is Guada TV.
Every week, we will be bringing you a first look at North Central Washington business, tech, and education news. You'll hear from local influencers and innovators who live right here in the Valley. Together, we'll discuss hot topics, current events, and resources that can support your business, our schools, and this community. Join me every week, and let's get inspired.
For plumbing, heating, or cooling repair, Patriot will be right there.
Is your home as comfortable as you like? This Lennox dealer can help.
Make your home comfortable with a Lennox system from Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Call Patriot today.
Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling will give your home a hug.
Get up to $1,700 in rebates or special financing.
So the story goes like this. Yesterday afternoon about 3:30, my phone rings. It's Laurel Helton. She goes, Dan, guess what? It's Laurel from Make a Difference Day. I got some exciting news. And she told me some exciting news. And I said, can you come on the show and bring Margie with you? And she said, no. No, I'm not kidding. She said she'd love to. And I'm not going to spill the beans. I'm going to let you spill the beans. You know these ladies. They need no introduction, but I'm going to give you one. Anyway, to my immediate left, Margie Kerr. To my far left, Laurel Helton. Somebody do the honors to tell people why you are here today.
Go, Margie.
Oh. Well, we are here because we won the National Award for Make a Difference Day. Our Wenatchee Valley should be very proud of their efforts because their efforts got this award, $10,000.
$10,000. That is so cool. Laurel called me. You were so excited when you called.
I'm still so excited.
Yeah. Truth be told, I was napping, but it woke me right up. I immediately came down here and looked it up online. I was really, really happy for you. $10,000. Right. It's a great deal. Please tell me how many times you've won this kind of award from the people who organize it, because I just drew a blank.
This is the ninth national award that we've won, brought back to the Valley, and then we had 2 national winners the 2 previous years, so McKenna Schwab and Sarah Strang. So we've had 3 national awards in the last 3 years. So we're just so proud of the people here in this valley, the big work that they do and the big hearts they've got, and it's just nice to be recognized for all those accomplishments.
Were you surprised when the organizing group called you up? It was you who got the phone call, right? Were you surprised at all, or?
Well, really not, because what happens here is so incredible, and it's so much bigger than anything that we see done anywhere in the nation. So we kind of expect when we turn things in that we're going to get a lot of looks, and so yeah, we weren't that surprised, but completely excited.
Margie is going to throw a number at our viewers that's going to make you get all warm and fuzzy inside. 83. I'll do it if you want to.
84,000? Is that what you're saying?
$83,772.35
Yes.
when you add it all together.
That was just the total that we know of in the fundraising for that weekend.
For the people who bothered to get a hold of you and told you what you did.
Exactly.
Because a lot of people do things that Make a Difference Day that you don't even know about.
Right. There were about 5 major fundraisers that we knew of going on that weekend. The YWCA had their drag queen event, and that was very successful. They filled the house because I went to it. It was fun. And then
McKenna Schwab.
McKenna Schwab with her Camp Corey kids did over $47,000 with all her support. And then there was a fundraiser for football for the hurricane victims at the football game. They did about $1,700. At the same game, the first responders had their first annual event dressed as donkeys.
That was the Eastmont Wenatchee football game.
Yes.
The big one at the Apple
And
Bowl.
then they raised $2,500 for Special Olympics. And then there were other donations like the diaper drive took in over $3,000 and coats for kids and all. So we just added all the money up and we were blown away. That's one weekend. Yeah.
Is this all? She brought the Gutenberg Bible with her, apparently. Is this everything that took place just last year? On that Make a Difference Day?
This is 1 year.
Yeah. What happens is
1 day.
the National wants to know what we did, what we accomplished, and if you have a video of the day's events, then you could submit that. if you want to write something up, you do that. I think a picture is worth 1,000 words, so all the pictures that we had taken that day and others that came in, I put them all together, and this is what happened. And they asked us, I said, could we submit our scrapbook? It weighs about 30 pounds. They said, we'd prefer you take a photo.
Okay.
So Laurel is our computer whiz.
So I shot every
She shot
page.
every page of the scrapbook.
And then mailed it.
And we asked them to please look that this is what we did. And they must have looked.
Because if you ship this off to the people who made the decision, it probably would have cost you $10,000 to ship it, and the whole thing would have been a wash.
Yeah, we used all our money that way.
Well, we've done it before. The year that we did the bridge lighting, I had made 2 scrapbooks and submitted it, and unfortunately they got lost and we didn't get them back. And we like these for our own use to look back and share the pictures
That
and so forth.
obviously my next question is, where can people look at this? This is cool. Can people, is this going to be, I mean, can you make this available so people, nobody's going to steal it.
Nobody's ever asked.
Nobody can lift it, for one thing. But I think people should have a chance to actually look at this.
Where should we put it?
You put a lot of work into this. This is neat.
Right.
I think I just threw Margie for a loop, which is the first I've ever done.
Well, I think in the past, when we're advertising Make a Difference Day, I sometimes bring the scrapbooks and they're on our table so people can see
At the community
themselves and what they did. But I'm willing to leave it, like I was thinking, either the library or PIBUS.
Yeah, well, PIBUS would be a good thing. Maybe go to Office Depot and buy a whole bunch of stuff and make a copy of it. People are trustworthy. I'm an idiot because I believe people are generally good, but nobody's going to walk away with it. People need to see this. You put way too much work in it, and it's cool. I'm just saying. I'm spitballing out here.
Right, okay.
We'll work on that.
What would Betsy think of all this, your sister?
Well, she's probably looking at, maybe she's helping us, who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, she'd be
tickled.
excited. Yeah.
She'd be tickled about this.
No doubt about it. Her specialty, our house, every year they do a landscaping project, and they did it this year. So
there
it's
were
great.
13 $10,000 awards given out all over the country, right? Is that correct? 13?
Yep, and then the All-Star, one more $10,000. So 14 awards altogether.
And I think there were over 800 submissions to the central office who makes this decision. There's been some changes at the top level of Make a Difference Day. USA Today is no longer involved, right?
Correct, yes.
It's Tegna now.
It's Tegna.
Which is a media company of some kind.
They own TV stations.
Supported with RB.
Arby's Foundation.
And then the Points of Light Foundation also lends support. We're not sure if they lend money. We know Arby's helps with the award money, and then Tegna does the All-Star.
The neat thing about the money is that anybody can apply for that. All of these projects in here are great projects, and so if they'll go and apply for that money, that $10,000 is out there available, and then it comes right back to the Valley. So that's a really cool thing to be able to do.
And that's why Laurel and I, we don't submit stuff every year,
right.
But because if we do, we're kind of competing with individuals in our community. We try and inspire people and promote them, and we say, oh, you've got a great project, why don't you submit it? And usually when they do, they win.
Yeah.
So but this year, I must admit, after Make a Difference Day was over and we got our reports back and people sent us photos and they told us how many people, Laurel and I were just blown away. Yeah. We thought, we've got to submit this, not for the money particularly, but it's a source of pride. We wanted the people to know Wenatchee Valley is still doing this.
Oh, yeah.
And they're still
Amazing
awesome.
things.
We kind of think that our valley sort of is the, what would the word be?
Cool.
We sort of set the tone.
Yeah, there you go.
And we wanted them to know we
bar
haven't
is high here.
Yeah, that we haven't given up on this.
Right.
That it just keeps growing better and bigger. So.
And it needs to be pointed out that this is just the stuff. This ginormous 6-inch, 8-inch thing is just the stuff that Margie and Laurel knew happened on Make a Difference Day. There are people who went out and painted their neighbor's fence, or helped clean up a back alley, or walked a neighbor's dog.
Right.
Little stuff that you don't even know about.
These are things that people ask to have the community help them with. So, like the defensible fire area up there around Saddle Rock was just a to me, that's a really great example of how our community works together, because there is this need. They want to get those horses out of there if there's a fire, and we do have wildfires. So the board was working on that, and then they were looking at the surrounding area, so they got the firemen and the PUD and the emergency management involved, and then they asked the community to help them provide those hands to get all of that stuff out of there and actually make it be a great space that will protect the whole valley as well as their properties. So Make a Difference Day kind of gives you a little day that you can, you know, you got a need, and you can get people involved to help you to accomplish that. And I mean, that's what every one of these projects are, those kind of things.
You got the check. In fact, when she called me and woke me up, you were on your way to go see Beth at the Community Foundation, North Central Washington, with the check.
Yep. We were jumping up and down.
That must have been cool. So it's in their hands now. The
Yes.
fantastic people at the Community Foundation. Is that a separate account that's going to sit there and grow and earn a little bit of interest,
Right.
and then for next year, people
Yes.
can use that as seed money for projects?
Yeah.
Correct?
Yes.
Right. We provide grants to projects for ongoing projects, and we advertise when they're available, and then they apply, and they use that money to enhance their project. Like this year, the Land Trust planted a bunch of seedlings, and they used the money to provide a nice lunch for the volunteers, which made
Or they
it
buy
special.
tools,
Sure.
or
Yeah.
you know, whatever makes the project work, so
Yeah.
they can do a good project.
Intiat landscaped their library area and used the money for some shrubs and trees to make it prettier, and so.
And a lot of
Yeah.
businesses step up too.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, just
Yeah.
no questions asked. They say, here's a check, or we're going to bring a bunch of folks out with some shovels and some picks and just
Or
work
they
for
provide
you.
lunch, or they,
Yeah.
you know, whatever resources the businesses have, they get behind it. Yeah, it's really, we have a great business community that really
That's another
supports.
thing that blew us away, because we never know about it, but as we looked at all the reports, then we would find that this business provided lunch, or this one had a venue where they could come and car wash or whatever. And I counted them up. There were 121 that we know of. That's a lot.
Yeah. How do you, this is going to be the dumbest question I've ever asked in the history of television.
Never.
How do you account for all this? All these people pitching in and Make a Difference Day work, from nonprofits to just Joe Blow to businesses. Why does this happen here?
I have a theory.
I wanna
and
hear it.
It's my little personal theory. I think that it's in our DNA to help others. I really think we're built to help others. It's a win-win. We feel good when we do, and we help each other. I think some people don't know what to do. Everybody's got a gift to give. They just don't know how to use it. So Make a Difference Day is an opportunity to plug into things. You know, we present some needs, and then people say, oh, I can do that. Or people are imaginative and they think up their own. I think it's that simple. And because this community gives all year long, Make a Difference Day is just the day. But every day today, somebody's making a difference someplace, some group's doing it. So I don't know if that answers it, but that's what I think.
Here's the second dumbest question I've ever asked. Laurel, do you agree?
Totally agree. And I also think that it gives you a sense of community to do it on one day, because you get to join hands and you make friends and you get to know your community better, and that feels really good. I think, like she said, it's a win-win. When you do something for somebody else, you really get that back in so much more than what you gave. So. Yeah, I believe it's in our DNA too. I think people are good and they really want to make things better where they're at. And this is just a day to kind of spotlight it and join together.
I had these two lovely ladies on my program last October, the week of Make a Difference Day. We talked about it. We'll go ahead and jump ahead 6 months. When is Make a Difference Day for 2018? October when?
27.
27. Okay.
It's always the fourth Saturday of
Okay.
October. We already glanced ahead to circle that date.
And you should circle that date right now.
Right now. Yeah.
Right now.
It's never too early to be thinking ahead.
Thinking ahead. And every year there's some new stuff. A lot of them have been doing this for 20 years,
yeah.
the same project, and there's always a
Yeah.
couple of new things every year.
Well, every year there's usually a big need that arises. Right now we don't know what's going to happen. Like this year, the hurricanes were major. And the fire prevention, because of our fires. Last year, the big effort was, remember the cleaning up of after all the fires denuded the hillsides and all the flooding down 5th Street and so forth. Then
Cleaned out the ditches.
They cleaned out the ditches. So hopefully we won't have any more catastrophes for next year, but different things crop up.
They do, and people like up in Waterville, there was a fellow that had cancer, so they rallied around him up there. So yeah, things come up throughout the year and people go, oh, that's something I'd really like to help with. So it's different every year.
And the best thing, one of the best things about the Make a Difference Day organization, it's these two ladies. There's no committees. I asked you, I remember I said, so how does this work from an organizational standpoint? And they said, we're not. Because if you have a formal organization in standards and practices and a constitution and bylaws, immediately meetings start falling into things and then nothing happens, right? So.
Yeah, the meetings happen at our house at the computer as we're getting on it.
We think it works best just being grassroots, that there is no money that comes into supporting this. So it just, people are donating because they want to donate.
Yeah, it's straight from the heart.
And that's...
Well, it's easy to say yes to Margie and Laura when they bring you cookies, too.
That, too.
We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to wrap up our conversation. Laura Helton, Margie Kerr, Dan Kuntz, this Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, Friday on the NCW Life channel.
Why live your life in the dark? At Schmidt Electric, we're one of the oldest and most respected companies in the Pacific Northwest.
Founded by my father in 1960, we have grown from 2 employees to 130.
From small commercial businesses to heavy industrial companies, we employ some of the most respected contractors. We're also a proud member of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers for over 50 years. Call us at Schmidt Electric today.
I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCW Life channel.
I'm Eric Grandstrom with NCW Life Sports.
I'm NCW Life News Director Steve Hare.
Catch us on Local-Tel Channel 12.
You can watch us on Charter Channel 19 or stream us live on ncwlife.com.
Follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook.
Where we cover the local high schools, the Wenatchee Wild, and the pro teams out of Seattle.
On Saturday, we have a 90% chance of rain.
Catch it all right here on the NCW Life channel.
Your home for the 2018 Washington State Apple Blossom Festival is the NCW Life channel. Be sure to watch the Kais Fiber Youth Parade Saturday, April 28th, the Les Schwab Classy Chassis Parade on Friday, May 4th, and the Stem Growers Grand Parade Saturday, May 5th, right here. Brought to you by Auville Fruit, home of the Gee Whiz brand, where passion meets flavor. And by Bay Equity Home Loans, your home for loans. Got about 3 minutes left of this Friday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan Kuntz, Margie Kerr, Laura Helton. I'm going to throw this number at you one more time. $83,772.35. Oh, that's my tax return.
You wish.
I forgot. It's certainly not what I make in a year, I can tell you that much. So every year you dole out grants anyway, whether you get the 10 grand or not.
Right.
Now you got 10 grand. Now you got sugar on the ice cream.
Right.
And that's pretty cool. When does that, for those people who have a good idea, they think this is something that needs to be done to Make a Difference Day coming up on the 27th of October, I would like just a couple of $100 to launch my project. When does that process start? When can they start applying for those grants?
In September.
Okay.
And you need to have done a project last year.
Okay, that's important.
If you've
so
done
that way you know it worked.
then you're in the running, that's right.
Right.
And then you need to submit to what you'd like to do. And we have a limited number that we do, but we do give up to $200. So you just fill out the form on the foundation, community foundation website, and they've got grants there. So.
Do other organizations who put together Make a Difference Day get a hold of you too and say, how do you do it? Help us. We think Make a Difference Day is great, but we don't know what we're doing and you do. Does that happen?
Never has.
Margie and Laurel. Margie Kerr, Laurel Helton, look them up.
Call Margie.
Yeah, call Margie, yeah. Laurel's busy. That amazes me. You think that your phone would be ringing off the hook with how do we organize it?
You can look online because we've looked at what other people do online. So they probably have looked at our website. We've got a website, WenatcheeMKDD.com. So, you know, I think probably people look that way rather than calling.
In fact, our website in a few days will have updated the material in here so that people can see the numbers of projects and what everybody did. Because on Make a Difference Day, if I do a little project that, let's say I go up with a land trust and I'm planting seedlings, I come home I'm tired and I had a wonderful day, I have no clue that the people at the sowing WUWV today did 203 feminine hygiene kits, that there were 130 women there, women and girls sewing, or that the Sleep Tight Project made 200 little sacks to give to foster kids. I mean, you just don't know. So it's fun to find out what other people did.
This is one big book. One way or the other, we're going to figure out a way to get the general public to look at this, because this needs to be perused. This is very, and then you did all of this work, ladies. People need to see it instead of just sitting on a coffee table somewhere. All right?
We agree, because people will love it. They'll love to feel like they were part of this.
It's always wonderful to see you.
We appreciate your support.
And now, normally I'd stay on the air with you, but you brought me cookies and I put them in the break room, so my guess is my coworkers are ravaging my snacks. If you're watching, coworkers, stop it right now. Everybody have a great weekend. Did you hear the Wild won the Cup? Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
We'll see you Monday. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks.